You staying home tonight?
I hadn't planned on it, no.
Plan on it.
Minus 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Booster ignition and liftoff of Discovery.
You're gonna die.
I'm Raymond Arroyo. We'll see you next time.
Hey everyone! Welcome everyone! It's the show! It's the show. My name is Edmund Mitchell. We're gonna turn down this trash right here. It's a show. We're here again, back with special guest Will Hickl.
Ooh,
everybody. We have another live studio audience. There's hundreds of people in my house. 100 of the most attractive people from Grapevine.
Yes.
They should give us a cheer.
Yeah. Cheer for Will, our special guest. Here we
That's 100 people.
See, Will's challenging my... sorry, they were... Can we hear it from the back room, everybody?
There we go.
Wow.
That's a lot of people. They all came just for you.
Wow. Will, how does it feel to have that many fans?
It feels great. It feels so real. It doesn't feel manufactured at all.
Not fake at all, just like social media.
Exactly.
My name is Edmund Mitchell. This is the show with Edmund Mitchell, and also today I have another co-host filling in for Allie and Johnny, who are slacking. And Nick actually has a valid reason to not be on the show.
Oh, okay.
He's bringing teens to the Lord
Oh, that's good.
at a summer camp.
That's important.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's important.
Youth ministry is basically, Sam, youth ministry is where you just float down a river. You call that ministry. You're just like floating down a river in like in Georgia. That's summer camp. That's ministry.
Georgia's a great place to bring people to the Lord.
Right?
That's great.
Where's not a good place to bring people to the Lord?
Not Georgia.
Okay, all right. Oh, okay, so the announcements at the beginning of the show. What are the announcements that we do? You can listen to the show in most places where do you listen to podcasts, Will?
YouTube usually.
Really?
YouTube, sorry. I was away from the
Wait,
mic.
you listen to podcasts on YouTube?
Yeah, it actually got me in trouble with my family's data plan because I was driving from here to Houston and I listened to like 4 hours worth of podcasts on YouTube.
Oh no!
And then it ended up eating like 15 gigs of our, 22
Holy cow.
gigabyte data plan. So
Dang.
don't listen to podcasts on YouTube.
Okay, yeah, you can watch the podcast on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The other interesting... so you can also support the show, patreon.com/ the show, I think.
Yes.
Thank you for checking my links. This is why Gabby's here.
Checking links.
And then the other exciting thing is I want to get more people to send in like the intro to the show. Do you watch the show? Do you listen to the show? The last episode, Nathaniel from British Columbia sent in a clip of him floating on some body of water in Canada. And he's literally like, "Welcome to the show with Edmund Mitchell." He's like swimming, like it's hilarious. So, anyways, I want to get more people sending, just like get more people
like a
on the show.
video intro.
Yeah, they could just say whatever they want. Like I just send them like 2 links. They just say Patreon and then like what else? The best semi-Catholic podcast, I think. Nathaniel was like, or Nate, I don't know how he goes, but he was like, it's better than that show with the Australian dude or The Wrestler, which I don't know which one he's talking about.
The wrestler, maybe he's talking about Joe Rogan because he's not a wrestler, he's MMA. But
That's true. Doesn't Stone Cold Steve Austin have a podcast?
I don't know.
Oh, anyways. Well, that's all the intro stuff. Oh, and you can also buy merch at threadless.com/the show, I believe.
I think.
Or maybe it's
the show dot
threadless.
Yeah.
.com.
Yes.
Anyways, that's all the intro stuff.
The link will be in the details in the podcast
In the show
section.
notes.
In the description.
The description. The show
I think it
notes.
says details on the podcast app.
Okay, it'll be in the details.
Or just, I don't know, whatever.
Who knows? Anyways, Will, thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for having me.
You're our special guest.
I'm excited.
So this is all about you.
Cool.
Sarah here has made you some cookies.
Thank you, Sarah.
So tell our audience a little bit about you. You're a musician, so you're used to getting gifts like this on the road.
Yeah, sure. No. Not really.
One of those cookies is laced with something, and the game we're gonna play tonight is eat all of them and see who gets the bad one.
Nice. Like cookie roulette.
Yeah.
Now I'm a Catholic musician, so I don't get many gifts. Well, I guess I get more gifts than I do money.
You don't get many. You don't get many gifts laced with things.
Yeah, not many.
Your pause
Some.
there. Your pause there was like. Okay, so you're a Catholic musician.
I'm a Catholic
Yeah, tell people about
musician.
you.
Oh, okay. I mean, I'm trying to.
When you're at a cocktail party and people are like, "What do you do?"
Oh man.
That awful question, right, Gabby?
Oh, it's the worst question. in the
You
world.
kind of have it hard because you go, "I'm a musical therapist."
Music therapist.
Oh, I was listening to the episode with her and Eric, and where y'all discussed the definition of music. So we could
yeah.
reprise that right now and
could.
avoid talking about me.
No,
No,
we
no,
need to
no,
talk
no.
about you.
No, no,
it's
no.
all about you.
So like you're at a cocktail party
No.
and this stuff is happening, clinking, and that's awful.
That's
clink.
a horrible
Anyways,
clink.
and then someone's like, "Oh, so what do you do?"
Well, it depends who I'm talking to, but
Okay, a smart 25-year-old.
I mean, okay. I always start with the blanket statement. I'm a musician.
Okay.
And then
How long have you been a musician? Your whole life.
Well, yeah.
Is one born a musician, Gabby? All right, Will.
I think so, but I was. I guess it just depends, but like I wasn't like Justin Bieber where I was playing guitar at 3 years old or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
It was like grew up in a house where music was always played.
Yeah.
And
Where'd you grow up?
In Sugar Land.
Okay.
Sugar Land, Texas.
Dirty
The
shoot.
dirty shug. And
I don't know what that just was, but it sounded great.
It's slang for
The dirty shug?
yeah.
Are we serious right now?
Yes. Not
Sam,
really.
Sam, can we make t-shirts? The dirty shug?
I've been wanting
Find
to
it
make
at the
t-shirts.
show
I've been wanting.
threadless.com.
Yeah, I've been wanting to make flat bills for it for like.
Would you
ever.
spell it S-H-U-G or just S-U-G?
S-U-G.
Because that would look like the dirty sug.
But if you're from Sugarland, then
Oh,
would
you
know.
get it. Yeah, but if you go anywhere outside of Sugarland.
People know. I've had
Okay.
someone come up because like my friend Jake DeBolt is a net missionary.
Jake the Bolt?
You know him?
No.
DeBolt.
DeBolt.
Oh, DeBolt.
Yeah,
that's not a
D-E-B-O-L-T.
Oh, that's not a nickname. That's his actual last name.
Yeah, D-E, capital D-E, and then capital B. So DeBolt. I don't even know what where that's from.
I feel like I'm being pranked right now. That's the most
you
amazing
can look
last
him up
name.
on your computer.
That's the most
he's a real
amazing
person.
last name I've ever heard.
He has novels. This is a plug for Jake DeBolt's sci-fi adult fiction novels.
Holy cow. That's amazing.
the
Sarah
last-
wants to write sci-fi adult fiction.
The Last Seraphim, I think, or The Last Cherubim. I think Seraphim.
Wow.
I don't know. It's pretty. He's a very good writer. Jake, I love you, buddy. He's from the Dirty Shug too. Anyways, but since
Enough about Jake. This
We
is
need to
about
talk
you,
about
Will.
you.
We need to
I
talk
know,
about
I know.
you.
But I was my story was that Jake in Minnesota when he was on net, he got a bunch of people to like, and him and my buddy Matt Blake, they both like kind of got it. So like anytime I talk to somebody. And I'm like, yeah, I'm from Sugarland. If they've done net, sometimes they'll be like, oh, that's the dirty shug, right? And I'm like, my man.
Wow.
Or woman, whoever said it.
That's intense.
Anyways, so I grew up there.
So you grew up there
Yeah.
and you dabbled in music as a kid?
Well, I had an affinity for it, and then when I was in middle school, 6th through 8th grade, I did orchestra, so I learned the
Dude,
violin.
me too.
Nice.
How many years?
All just the three.
Okay.
3 middle school.
I did 8 years of violin, dude.
Wow.
8 years of orchestra.
Do you still
awesome.
have a
And
violin?
not a single girlfriend out of that whole. It was the longest play. It was a strong move, and not a single girlfriend. I was this close like 2 or 3 times.
I think that
I just couldn't close the sale. You know.
I think that works when you're not in high school or middle school anymore. I think like when you meet girls in college and you're like, yeah, I play the violin. I feel like they're gonna be more like, wow, that's romantic because they
Nope,
understand.
never worked for me.
No.
Nope. It was
if
like
you
you're a
kept playing.
nerd.
If you kept playing,
Yeah, I should have kept playing.
you know what I mean. Anyways,
Yeah.
no, I
So you did orchestra. What
so
grade?
6th through 8th.
Okay.
And so I learned to read music there and I learned about it. But then I didn't do it in high school because our high school orchestra teacher like had a bad reputation for just being an awful like teacher. And so everyone was like, ew, I'm not doing it. And I was like, I'm not going to do it.
Yeah.
And I did theater instead. And then it wasn't until junior and senior year of high school that I was like, oh, I'm going to do choir because all my friends are in it and I can kind of sing. And so, so I did that. And then when I got to college, I'd always been drawn to pianos. And so my mom and dad got me like a Radio Shack branded like dinky keyboard.
Yeah, one of those keyboards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like $100.
We got one of those one Christmas too. Yeah.
Yeah, and so
Had the like sound effects on it and stuff.
Yeah, and every
it
time
plays
you-
some beats.
you press a key and it lights up, and
Yeah.
it was really cool.
Yeah.
And so when I was in college, it wasn't until the end of my freshman year. I brought this thing with me, and it wasn't until my freshman year that I discovered a website that showed you, like just like guitar tabs or something, just like, oh, here's a song and here are the chords. And then when you would hover over the chord, it would show you the pattern of like the
Yeah.
chord shape. And
Yeah,
so I was like, oh, and I'm a very mathematical, just nerdy person who sees things in patterns. And so it was like, oh, so piano is just a bunch of patterns. And so from then, that was back in like 2009, 2010. And then from then it was like just teaching myself, like learning piano through patterns and stuff. And so the journey being like, I kind of got a grip on this thing. And so then,
do you write music, or were you writing music at this point?
Not at the time. I mean, I was
just playing for
well,
fun.
I was, okay. So simultaneously, like learning the piano, I was messing around on GarageBand and like learning that kind of production side. And then it wasn't until like sophomore year that I came back and I was like, I want to minor in music now. And so I declared it, and then I took like a performance class every semester. Well, just those two. So sophomore year, both semesters. And that was good because our professor, in order to get an A, you got to the class and you're like, okay, I play piano and I sing. And then he would, there were like 30 people in the class. And so he would say, okay, everyone fill out their sheet. And then the next week he's like, okay, this is a band. So Will, you're the pianist and you sing, and then here's your drummer, here's your bass.
He would just throw you guys together?
Yeah, just random
Whoa.
people. And so that was a cool experience because in order to make an A,
Man, no one wants Steven who plays like the theremin, or what is that instrument?
Theremin, yeah, that's cool.
Hi, I'm Kevin. I tap dance. It's like, frick, I hope I don't get Kevin, man.
Yeah. Well, and it was cool because he also did like, you could do like a band or you could do like a classical thing. So there were like, string players that would form quartets.
Whoa.
And like, stuff like that. And so it was a performance class. And so we got put in a band, and then we were required to practice once a week for at least 30 minutes. And he had to be there for it for at least 15 or 20 minutes. So
How'd you guys decide what to even play?
Well, we would just all talk about our interests. So like a lot of what we covered was like, some, like one of the girls that I did it with, she loved jazz. So I don't even remember the song, but it was something like, some Sinatra type thing.
Yeah.
And then a lot of like Coldplay, Killers, like just kind of alternative rock stuff.
Similar genre. Okay.
Yeah,
Just
right?
let's combine that.
Yeah.
We're a band that's
Alternative
it's like,
jazz rock.
Yeah, we're like Dave Brubeck meets Sting. That's kind of like what we're about,
Right. Anyways, yeah. And so,
right, Gabby? You'd show up to a concert like that, right?
Sure.
If Will said he was starting a band that was Dave Brubeck meets Sting, I mean, with like a flautist.
and a tap dancer.
Yeah.
And a tap dancer.
And a tap, yeah.
And a theremin.
And
It's kind of hot if you think about it.
Yeah, so.
Okay, so this is in college. So you're at college at this point.
So I'm doing this class.
This sounds like a really cool class.
Yeah, it was. And what was valuable for that class was my the professor, every time he would coach us, he would give us like these little notes and tips on like how to perform as a band.
Yeah.
And that's where I learned a ton on like just how to be in a group, how to lead a group. And like little things, like he gave this note, like, so for all the drummers listening, he was like, yeah, so, whenever you're doing a verse, you're going to close the hi-hat, and then whenever it's like a solo or something, you can open it up or sit on the ride and and just like taking into account all those little things was like super like valuable for me.
Was everyone so positive towards the notes from that person?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Like from your
everyone
teacher?
was pretty humble and cool. Yeah. The people that I ended up being in both bands with, because, there was a different one per semester, except I had the same drummer both times. He was cool. Everyone, super humble, super great.
Because, I mean, I could see some kids being a little more like, this is personal. Like the way I play my hi-hat is between me and my hi-hat. Like, it's none of your business.
True.
You know what I mean?
No, none of that. Luis was really cool. Luis, if you're listening, that was awesome, man.
Shout out to Luis.
Luis
Shout
Galindo. Yeah.
Is he writing adult science fiction novels now at this point? Or
I have no idea. I should probably call him.
is it weird to say adult? For some reason, putting adult in there with science fiction, it makes it sound uncomfortable.
I think it's just, what is adult fiction? What would you call like young adult fiction? Like,
Young
what
adult
would you call like,
fiction.
New Moon and whatever, Edward?
Young adult.
Oh, Twilight.
Yeah, what would you call that
I
series?
think it's
I think it's
classified
young
as
adult.
young adult.
Okay,
fiction,
so yeah,
right?
that's what he
YA.
was.
Sarah, can we get a
Yeah, it's just young adult.
young adult fiction?
No
Yeah.
fiction.
Just young adult.
I mean, if it's sci-fi, it's fiction.
Young adult fantasies? Or I mean fantasy?
Oops.
Is it young adult isn't that like the fantasy genre? Vampires and demons and stuff like that? Okay.
She says yes. Okay,
She
cool.
said yes. All right.
Cool. Anyways, okay, so
So you
then-
get out of college and you're like, or is that during college you're like, I'm gonna make music?
Yeah, so that was sophomore year, and during so college is like a huge formative part. So that's why we're still in sophomore year. I'm sorry, y'all.
Gosh, are you
but-
done with college yet?
Yeah, right. No, I started. So I'm learning to perform. I'm learning to like play the piano, and I'm also learning like production side because I'm doing like Logic. So junior year, I'm still declared a minor. So then the first semester I take music technology that kind of lets me dive into this thing called Max, MSP or whatever.
Ooh, Max.
Yeah, have
What
you
is
ever-
that?
Oh gosh, I hate
Wait,
it.
what is this?
Are you joking or do you know it?
No, I know it.
Okay.
What is this?
I hate
It's,
that.
okay, I'm gonna try to break this really quick. It's like a software where you can basically program anything, and I don't just mean like, kind of programming. It's like you have to, if you wanted to create an MP3 player, you have to compile like 8 components of like, okay, I'm gonna open the file, and then I'm gonna connect it to a DAC, and then I'm gonna connect it to
So
this.
is this like a music thing that
You
a lot
can
of
use it
music?
for music.
Oh,
Yeah, it's like a
Okay.
performance tool.
Okay.
And so like I bet you like someone like Taylor Swift probably uses it for her productions because you can customize.
I don't know though.
No,
She
or
doesn't seem like she could.
not her.
I mean, that sounds
someone
Not
else.
her
Someone else.
specifically.
But anyways, so it was
little
cool.
complicated.
I didn't master that, but it was cool to like learn that. But while I was in that class, I was taking advantage of like the music tech computers and learning how to do Logic.
Because you're kind of a nerd.
Very much.
I've noticed this about you.
Yes, I graduated with
Certain people, when you watch certain people handle their Apple computer, their MacBook, like I saw a lot of myself in you. What, Gabby?
yes.
Me and you are very like we're.
I mean, I brought
we're-
my own microphone.
We're
so.
aggressive on our laptops.
Very.
And I think that's when I see a common nerd, that's how I know.
We unite.
Yeah.
Anyways, this is a
So take us to second semester of sophomore year of college.
of
Junior
junior year.
year.
Yeah,
Junior year.
Don't take us back.
That's no.
Don't go any farther back.
No. So the second semester was awesome because that's when I took a recording class. So I learned
Okay.
Pro Tools, I learned about mics, I learned about preamps, but I didn't use them, and I feel dumb for not because if you listen to my recordings from back then, they're very tinny and thin and not good because I wasn't using proper preamps.
Gabby complains about that a lot.
I know.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
She's never heard them.
So you're
but-
producing music
don't
for
want to.
people, and then
No, I'm learning the basics, and then senior year, I quit my music minor, but I would still rent the studio, and so I was going in and making
Yeah.
music with people.
Yeah.
And then, so then I graduate college. Finally, we're done. And so, I got my start for music. What ended up happening was, and I was leading worship at St. Mary's a lot too, so I was growing in like worship leading abilities and like
St. Mary's.
at
This is
A&M. I went to
A&M.
A&M. Yeah.
Okay, that's a big deal, right?
Yeah. So I was like leading worship a lot there and doing that. And then when I graduated, I actually was more interested on like the production side, not music
Yeah.
producing, but like live production. So that's when I started my first company, Mercy Crew Productions, because I was like, oh, I want to like, go help with live events, because I'd help backstage with Steubenvilles and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I started buying like sound gear and all this other stuff because I'm like, oh, I want to like help people like put on shows
Yeah.
or like help retreats and just kind of bring a new wave of technology to the Catholic Church, because this is all the way back in like.
But once you
2011.
graduate college, I mean, what was your kind of career plan? Was it just leading worship and
No, not at all.
production,
No.
or-
I wasn't trying to be a worship leader. I just wanted to do production, and play keys for people because I was
Yeah.
learning like the technical side of.
But
like,
you got the St. Mary's gig out of college? That was like...
No, I'm saying while I was in college,
Oh,
I was
gotcha.
leading worship for other ministries.
Gotcha.
But when I graduated, I started working for a software company, and then doing like retreats and worship kind of on the side.
Yeah.
But I never really had a desire to do anything that I'm doing right now, just because I don't know, I just didn't.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I had been writing music, but it was not good, man. It wasn't. It wasn't. I mean, it just
Some people are performers. Some people write. Some people perform.
yeah, it wasn't good. And so what ends up happening is it was like
Some people do both.
right.
Some people do neither.
So yeah, and so what happens is, it was New Year's Eve of 2012 and going into 2013, and the friends that I was hanging out with at the time, well, I mean, we're still friends now, but when I was doing New Year's with them, because we did it 2
Yeah.
years in a row, they were like, dude, let's do praise and worship, at the strike of midnight and start the new year with like worship. I'm like, oh, that's really cool. Let's do it. And,
That's cute. That's a real cute thing to do.
yeah, right. And so between 2012 and 2013, I did hear the Lord speak to me of like basically, I want you to start a band. And then I laughed and I said, have you heard me write music before? It's like really bad. And he was like, no,
The Lord was like, no, I'm thinking more like Chris Tomlin. Like
no.
sing other people's music.
No. I was like, I can't, whatever. And it's funny because I was
Did
listening.
you just get that, Gabby? Are you just getting that? What are you laughing?
I'm laughing at it like I'm continuing to laugh.
Oh, okay. Also, if you guys want more beer, there's more beer out there. Okay, just making sure. I want to take care of them. I know. I just want to take care of you. I know. I just want to take care of you.
You just offered beer to 100 people, man. How
I
much
know.
beer do
Well,
have?
you know, we got a lot. We got a lot here. Sorry.
There's
So
a brewery right
No,
there.
you're
So-
fine. And so I'm like, LOL. Yeah, start a band. Sure. You need to help me write music. And so it was like a week later that I got inspired to write one of these songs, and like it was actually pretty good. And I was like, oh, I was in the chapel when this happened. Like
Yeah.
I was in the chapel, and then I got hit with like a melody and words, and I like had to leave and go record it. And then when I came back, like 3 days later, I finished the song like to the chapel, and then like I showed it to some people. I showed it to Eric Wilkes, who I started the band with. Who was talking on the episode I was listening to earlier today. He talked about this. He was like, yeah, Will came up to me. It's like, let's start a band. And he's like, yeah, right. Everyone says that. And I was like, nah, but we're going to. And we did.
Yeah.
And so, we got together, and
you pursued him.
I did.
I mean, you really pursued him
I did. I pursued his heart.
with a reckless love.
Anyways,
He left the 99.
I did. The 99 other people that wanted to start a band. I said, no, Eric Wilkes only. No. So anyway, so let me start that. And then, through learning a lot from that process, it was actually when Eric showed me one of Gabby's songs, Open My Lips. And he was like, dude, we just learned a lot about how to make records. Like, what if we help her? And I'm like, I guess we could. We've got the infrastructure now because we started like a publishing company and blah, blah, blah. And like we've made a record and a single and we know things. And so talked to her and she was down. And then we did her first song and then her first album. And then after Gabby, we were like, Eric was like,
Let's add other people.
well, no, he was like, oh, I also have this friend Rita West that needs
Yeah.
help. And I was like, well, let's hear her stuff. And we listened. And then I remember Gabby, like, I got y'all to talk to like basically.
You're like, convince her, please.
Well, because everyone, because it was such a young thing and concept
Yeah,
that
it's
everyone was
true.
skeptical.
Yeah.
That's so fun though, and I feel like some of the best things kind of just organically grow out of that.
Yeah.
It's like you learn how to do something for yourself, then someone else wants help
just
with
help
it,
them.
and you just start helping the people around you. And pretty soon, I mean, now Novum Records,
Right.
this whole
Yeah. And so that's been the cool thing about it is like, you asked me like, oh, did you always do this? And it's like, no, like I just took you through my whole half-life story of like,
Yeah.
not wanting to do a band, but then doing it. And then like not really thinking about starting a publishing or record label and then doing it. And then, not thinking about other artists. And then Gabby comes along and then Rita. And then now, we ran into each other when I was talking to another potential artist at Redefine. And, and then I've got another one that I talked to a couple days ago. And, if you're listening and you're a musician, go to novumrecords.com/demo and submit.
hit that
Anyways.
plug, man.
It's
Oh, yeah.
great.
No, I want to
Do
talk
it.
about that because
Do
it seems like I'm going through this a little bit too, where you might get into some platform or some type of art, or you get into some space, and then sometimes you realize that you actually like helping other people accomplish it
Yeah.
than you do actually doing it yourself.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I started out in youth ministry at our parish, and I have found, there was this opportunity to just like manage more of the team instead of doing a lot of stuff directly.
Yeah.
And I just found that actually I really enjoy that a lot. I enjoyed a ton. Or same with like podcasts or videos or stuff like that, like, or small businesses, when people start reaching out, I've realized that I actually, in some ways, enjoy more pouring into someone else and helping them accomplish their
Yeah.
goals.
You helped me, actually.
I did what?
You helped me with my podcast. I wouldn't have started my
that's right.
podcast if it
That's
wasn't
right.
for you, actually.
I talk about your podcast a lot too. As like an example of, so we should talk about that. Did we talk about this on the podcast?
We need to talk about Will. This is all,
No, it's okay. We can talk about your
Will,
podcast.
you should start a podcast, Will.
yeah, Novum podcast.
Oh, we're talking about starting like a Novum Records podcast.
Oh, yeah.
At some point.
You should.
Yeah,
You should.
I got to compile some topics, but yeah, we'll
Or
start.
you could just
something.
run like the show and just
you
like,
can just do a series.
just.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. That's definitely in the works.
But talk a little bit about when we were talking. I was asking you, I was like, "What do you do?" And you were like, "Well," and it actually really, when I was saying it back to you, I said, "It sounds like you like helping artists, get on their feet."
Yeah.
And especially artists that have particular types of art. I mean, it's not just any artist.
Yeah, I mean, like we don't we haven't really marketed ourselves too heavily. I mean, this is like our first big plug, novumrecords.com.
No, this is the second big plug.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah. No.
I mean, this is your episode. You could plug as many times as you want.
Okay.
All right.
There we go.
Sorry, what?
There we go. No, novumcollective.co.
Will Hickl at gmail.com.
No, willhickle.com.
That's your email address?
No. I'm saying I have a website.
You have that website too?
Yeah.
Bro,
He's got all the
you have
websites.
so many freaking websites.
I just actually
All the
updated
domains.
it.
You have too many websites.
And I started a blog today. I'm going to start a blog.
What's that one? WillHickleblogs.com?
No, willhickle.com/blog.
Oh, okay.
It's
that's
not
good.
live yet.
That's
if you're
good.
listening to this,
You
it's
need more
probably not
subdomains.
live.
Sarah's blogging too.
Are you? Oh.
She
Oh,
just
cool.
started. Yeah.
You can help her.
2 days ago? I started today ago. So
So she's more
okay.
experienced. You can get some advice from her.
Yeah, 2 days more. I love it. No, I love that. That's great. No, I mean,
There's too many things, Will. You're doing all these things.
I know. And see, that's why going back to your first question of like,
Yeah.
what do you tell people to do? I stick to one thing usually. Because it's like, I run a publishing company, a record label, I DJ on the side, I work at a parish part-time.
But I feel like, especially in 2019, and a lot of kids are kind of coming up this way, which is like, you can just learn to do stuff. If you want to produce, if you want to write a song, you write the song. But then if you want to produce it, you just learn how to produce it.
Yeah.
Or if you want to
Yep.
produce someone else's music or publish and print and whatever, take care of. Because you take care of like licensing and stuff too.
Yeah. Okay, so what was the question?
What do you do?
What is life?
No, but about November. Going
yeah.
back to what you were
Yeah.
saying of like, when we were talking, and another plug for EdmundMitchell.com. He's really good at your branding and figuring out your mission.
Yes.
Really though,
Too expensive, yeah.
Well, because it's funny, because when we ran into each other, we just don't have the cash.
You
It's not
guys,
too
you guys
expensive.
can't afford me. Anyone listening?
No, you probably
can't afford
can.
me.
We just can't because our
can't.
cash is in other places.
Yeah.
For
Real
now.
estate. It's in assets.
It's in
It's not
intellectual
liquidated.
property.
Oh,
But,
there you go. Yeah, cool.
So it's funny when we ran into each other, and I explained everything to Edmund. It took me like 30 minutes. He's like, it took you like 30 minutes to basically say this, and he broke it down in one sentence, which is true. And kind of what he was saying earlier, which is we want to help artists basically get on their feet, but I don't even say that. Just kind of give them direction, because a lot of them, there are a lot of talented people out there who have good art and who just don't know where to start.
Yeah.
And
I think that's a really good tip too. Oh, Sarah, are you an artist too? Are you a musician and an artist?
I've written a book.
Oh, okay. Will could help. Will could help
maybe
you with that.
we can talk about it for real. We can.
I do like that tip though. I've used this multiple times where you just kind of vomit out everything that you're trying to do or what you're about or whatever, and then you ask the person like, summarize what you heard me say, and then they give you. Sometimes you'll get this like one line. Like
Yeah.
if you have an idea for a book or a song or some business or something, you're like, here's what I'm passionate about, and then because you're so passionate about it, you'll talk about it for like an hour.
Yeah.
And then you're like, what did that sound like? Like say it back to me what you kind of heard, and then that person will a lot of times, and if they give you that one line and it's off, then you're like, okay, I'm doing something
That's
wrong
not what
here.
I do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You're like that's not.
Well, and it's funny that you said that's how me and Eric write music. That's how I write music with a lot of people. Is like I will vomit like, okay, this, and
Yeah.
then they'll take it in, and then like because when me and Eric, there was a song that we wrote, and I literally like sat there and spoke for like an hour and a half, and he was taking notes. And then what he did was he then organized every single like line into like different blocks. He was like, okay, so this verse will be about these 4 things you said. This verse, the chorus will be about this that you said. And then after we created the melody, he then took the outline and the melody. He locked himself in his room for 45 minutes and comes back out. And the first draft of like what he created, I'm like, that's it.
Dang.
And going back to that episode, I think episode 37 or whatever it was that
Wow,
I
he
was
knows the
listening
number.
with you guys.
Wow.
That's a big fan there. It's a real MVP.
He was saying like he's like, yeah, I don't know, Will just likes my first drafts, and it's because the guy wants to sit there and edit for hours, and I'm like, dude, I'll tell you if it's bad. That's
Yeah.
good, you know.
Yeah.
But anyways, going back to other people. So for what we do, is we
Novum is we, right?
yes,
And you're part of Nova. You're part of.
She's one of our artists, yeah.
Yeah.
And so, what we do is, we help people. We basically provide a team, because my goal is to make independent artists feel less independent while feeling independent. So, like, because
There's a T-shirt.
yeah, right. That's true.
Threadless.com.
Independence
Yeah.
with less independent while being more independent.
But
So-
I get what you're saying. Like you're trying to help them with some of the things that they've never done before.
they've never done, or that they don't care to do.
Yeah.
Like I would say humbly that God's blessed me with a balance of left brain, right brain.
Mm-hmm.
And while creatives are more like right brain, right? Is it right brain or left brain? Right brain? Because
Right.
it's right brain, right?
Right. Left.
Well, because the right side
I
of your
almost
brain
failed anatomy, so don't don't ask me.
I forget which.
because the right side of your brain controls the left side of your body, and a lot of creative people are more left-handed. So I think it's the right brain that's
okay,
creative.
we'll have Ian or someone check that. Fact check that.
yeah.
Where's young
Snopes.
Jamie? Where's Joe Rogan's
Jamie,
young Jamie?
I love that. I'm so that made me feel so good that you said that.
Where's the whiteboard? Where's the or not the whiteboard? He doesn't.
Jamie,
have a
pull
whiteboard.
it up. Sorry, so
it's
you
entirely
have two sides
possible.
of your brain. Where were we here? Oh, you were saying you're helping people with stuff that sometimes they don't want to do. Gabby, is there stuff that they help you with that you?
What
you're
do I?
allowed?
Yeah.
Like what?
I mean, I was just creating demos in my room, and then I sent it to Eric because I knew Eric liked music, and so you guys helped me produce it, put it out there, and helped me get like it on CCL. Like it helped with all the stuff that I didn't know how to do because I'm not really good with business stuff.
Yeah.
So, but also, I mean, provide just a lot of support.
Yeah.
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 It'd be cool to talk a little bit about that, especially to people who might be listening or Sarah, people who might be listening who have a thing, and to go from it. I think what I kind of said to you is, it sounds like you're really good at taking someone from not publishing something to that first step of publishing a record or putting out yourself as just like, I'm an artist, I'm a performer.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, definitely.
What are some of the struggles that you see people running into when they're in that weird, because that's a weird phase. I remember with a lot of things, blogging, YouTube, podcasting, there's like this phase before you break the seal and do the first one.
Yeah.
That is really scary.
Yeah.
You're really scared because you're like, this is my baby. I've been thinking, and some people are like, I've been thinking about this for 10 years about one day putting out this thing.
It's a lot of
and that's
fear.
hard for people. That's hard for people.
Yeah. If you're listening and you're like, oh, I have a thing and blah, blah, and I'm not, this isn't me saying you need to come to us. Like it's really, it's cliche, but like, it's just a matter of doing it, you know?
Yeah.
Like, and it's funny. I know I keep referencing the episode with Eric, but he kind of talked about like how he would sit and edit, and we're a good team because like, you know, I'm a little bit more spontaneous and a little more like impulsive and like, oh, let's just do it. You know?
Let's just put it out.
Yeah. And I know that's been good for him, and his like process has been good for me because I can be a little bit more like, oh, let's just do this. And he's like, no, let's think about it. But for those listening, I would say you really just have to do it. And I mean, I don't know. It depends. And if you're listening and you want help, like contact me at novumrecords.com or info at novumrecords.com.
But it can be hard if you've never, like, it can be hard because before you've published a thing, not to beat the book analogy too much, but like you feel like my first book needs to be Harry Potter. You know what I mean? And I think with a lot of things, for me personally, the only thing that helps me get past that is thinking my 100th thing will be like, I just have to put in the reps of producing 100 pieces of content or 100 articles or whatever. Like and I have to keep trying to encourage myself to just think about that.
Yeah.
Because I've done that. There's been times in my life where like just one blog article, I'm just like spending months on this stupid, because you feel like everyone's going to look at every single word and every single thing. And but like you said, I think some people go the other direction too, where they're just like, all right, here's everything, stream of consciousness.
Here you go, world.
I mean, I've definitely done that before too. It's like all my typos, everything half thought out ideas.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, for the artists, it's like, I guess you need to assess, because there's a difference between like being intentional and saying, I'm going to take time with this because it needs the time, versus like being overly perfectionist. And if you know yourself and you're in tune with your heart and in tune with whatever, I mean, a good artist should be pretty self-aware, you know? And if you know that like you've had the thought, if you've consciously thought like, I guess I could put it out now, but if that but comes in, then just put it out.
Yeah.
You know, but if you're like, no, I know for certain it's not ready. Yeah. Because I have plenty of like songs that I'm working on that I'm like, they're not ready, and I just need to collaborate with the right people or just wait, you know, for the right moment. You know, but yeah, I mean, in terms of like doing it, you're right. You just have to do it. And it was funny. I was today I was overhearing one of my friends listening to Brene Brown, and she's talking about like, you know, needing to fail and like embracing failure, and like just the fact that like we just need to try. I mean, guys, if you listen to Novum Redemption EP, that record sound wise and like, I mean, the songs are written pretty well, but like quality wise, it's not that good.
Yeah.
And you know, and it's funny because kind of going to the like Harry Potter analogy, it's like, well, we tell musicians who are like, oh, I want to blah, blah. It's like, dude, you actually want room to grow. You want your first record to not be that good, so that when you get to your 7th or 8th and it is really good, you can look at the progression and be like, yeah, I learned and I grew.
Yeah, and then not just like in skill set, like as far as like the product that not just in product, but skill set as well.
Yeah.
Like if you listen to Open My Lips, like I mean that was 2015
15 or 14.
or 14.
Yeah.
My like singing voice has gone so much better since then.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you definitely.
Do you think it's interesting? It feels like a modern kind of not problem, but a modern conundrum, I guess. If you want, like, I think, did we talk about this? Feel like we talked about this on a past episode. But John Foreman writes a song every single day as just to practice,
do it.
right? Just to do it. Yeah. And so he probably thinks most of those are not worth publishing.
Yeah.
On this, at the same time, I am sure there are tons of people that would love to just listen to that recording every single day as a podcast, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
So it's hard because you don't want your body of work to give a certain, like you want to hit a certain quality with your body of work that you put out there. But then also there's this other side where like in modern media, there's an infinite, unlimited number of things you can put out.
Yeah.
And I wonder, there are some artists I see who they try to craft everything. It's very much about the mystique. Like you're only seeing certain photos of them on Instagram. You're only hearing a certain number of songs. You're not seeing behind the scenes to craft this persona, this mystique. And then on the opposite extreme, you have Gary Vaynerchuk that's like, write a song every day and put it out there because, you know, who knows how many more hits from Prince we would have had if he would have just pushed as much content out as possible.
Yeah.
I think we talked about that. Like Chris Brown has, what is it,
32.
32 tracks on a record.
Yeah.
Like, I mean...
But he's been working on that for a while. He has so many producers and songwriters.
Yeah.
So I guess it's a little different at different levels, but...
Like you can see the volume versus quality kind of dynamic there.
But then again, who's to say that John Foreman's song a day isn't good quality, you know?
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like is it... You know, does it matter anymore to craft, like, here are the 5 songs, this record, and to go back and delete your back catalog where you didn't sound great, and to like, I know some people think that way.
I think it just depends on the person that's actually creating it.
Yeah.
Do they, persona. Do
Yeah.
they want to keep a certain persona showing, you know, the really polished songs?
Yeah.
Or are they willing to be that vulnerable and share all the stuff that's not as polished? Or do they just, I mean, some people like creating just for themselves and that's how they recharge.
Yeah. I mean, I a lot of the demos on my computer half of them are kind of like a journal. So like I'm creating music because it's like an outlet for how I'm feeling.
Yeah.
And then once it's there, like, you know, and I don't spend that much time or I haven't done any solo stuff. And I've been wanting to, but you know, obviously my focus has been everyone else. And I don't say that as like a humble brag, like I'm too busy being selfless, because I really am. No,
NovumRecords.com.
no, but I mean, I do have a few things in the works that I eventually will get to, but you know, like we've been with Novum Records, we've had, I mean, gosh, it's what was it, July? So like we had like Rita's album in May, Onwards in June. Our country artist Lauren had a song in May or June. And then John Finch, you know, he had a song at the end of June. You know, his next song comes out in a couple weeks, and then his third song comes out in like a month. And so, like, and then of course I have other things that I'm doing, like, you know,
There's
working
also,
at the church.
you know, there's also a question about, like, if you were to just have some channel where you just stashed all your demos that you were just working on for people to see or for people to listen to and provide feedback. There's also this question of, at what point do you want to get feedback, right? At what point are you? I was talking with someone recently about this. At what point are you just producing content that's influenced, or producing art that's influenced by what an audience is enjoying, right? Because you might put out all your half-done demos, and this literally a musician could do that. Put out hundreds of their half-done demos on a SoundCloud that's just like drafts or something, and then wait to see which ones people really like, and then developing those.
Yeah.
Or you see John Mayer like putting out little like licks and stuff, and you could create to the audience, you know?
Yeah, well, and you know what's funny is like DJs do that. So like Skrillex will create his music when he travels a ton and plays a ton. So he'll play a song and see the reaction, and then that song will go on his record, the hot one. So
A lot of artists do that.
yeah, but I guess listen, taking in all these different like methods of like, do you like put out a draft and see, do you play it while you're DJing and see if they love it? Do you like talk to your friends? Do you not? I mean,
Dude, I would love. Sorry, I just cut you off.
no, you're good.
I would love to see someone like. I'm sure this has to have happened already, but I would love to see someone like use their audience, like have their audience help them write a song.
Yeah.
Ben
Like-
Folds does that.
Who does he really?
Yeah.
Like you could like literally like asking like
Yeah.
having people vote on options of verses or like themes and topics or like hooks and like
Sure.
that'd be pretty interesting.
It would be.
Also,
let's
music
do that.
therapists do that as well.
I would hate to.
Music therapists do that too? Interesting.
Yeah, I would hate to have to work out the legal side of that. Who gets credit? That's the
The
publisher.
intellectual
in me.
property, right?
Yeah, right. Let's take a moment here. I've got a product placement. Let's see if we can get you some ad money. This is for 1835. You can zoom in right
Whoa,
here.
that's amazing.
1835. It's available at Specs. They
Wow.
now make it in pocket shots. It's the best Texas whiskey. Would you like this? This is free for the audience. So
Oh, okay. We're gonna have to run a competition. Oh, there we go. We gave it to Sam.
He
That was
loudest.
awesome.
he can
was
share
loudest.
it.
You're the most gracious guest we've ever
He's
had.
so selfless.
He's so selfless.
You should see what I have next.
Know him.
Anyways.
NovaRecords.com.
No,
Sorry, you were
I meant
saying.
to bring in a record, like me and Eric's latest record, but I
that'd be
forgot.
cool.
It's in the
Actually,
car.
it might be. Oh, it's in my car too.
I cut you off though. You were gonna share something very profound. I forget.
So, this little sound bit that you were gonna have Corey edit for YouTube is gonna be like 8 minutes now instead of 3 of me
crap.
explaining it.
Dang
So,
it.
Corey. I was saying like, okay, so there's the different like ways of like, oh, should I get my friend's feedback? Should I go to a producer? Should I whatever? For anyone who overthinks, I'm gonna invite you to not.
Like 80% and go.
No,
thing.
I would or just like
95% and go.
I don't know.
I feel like perfectionists need that though. There's perfectionists that you need
Well,
to tell
I
them.
overthink all the time.
Yeah, you need to tell them
but
80%
you have
and
music
go.
out, like but
Yeah, but I overthought.
What did you do to help Gabby like get over that?
What I do for everyone is I just say, I listen to it and I say, that sounds good. Let's
Yeah.
just do it.
Yeah.
Let's go for it. I mean, Eric's song, Cast My Cares, he was like, I don't like the song. Why doesn't he like the song? Because he's a prodigy and he created it in 5 minutes. From like, he literally got home from adoration, turned on his voice memo and like processed out his prayer from adoration.
Yeah.
And wrote the song. There was no edits. It was like he got a verse 1, a chorus, a verse 2,
Yeah.
a chorus, and he's like, I just feel like I'm cheating. And I'm like, no, you're expressing, you're turning your heart inside out.
Yeah.
And that's what I told this woman, the woman that I was speaking
Yeah.
to when we ran into her.
Yeah.
Her name's Jamie. Whenever I sent her an email of like recapping like the conversation we had, and I was like, the end of it was I literally said, turn your heart inside out, because no one cares. Nobody cares if you in your head are like, okay, it's an 80% or whatever value you give it doesn't matter because of like completion or not. And I say this like abstractly because obviously like if you've written like one line of like a verse and then you have a chorus, it's like, well, yeah, you should finish the verse. Like there is some objective truth to that, or like objective boundaries or standards or whatever. But
what you're saying is that people listening to it don't hear your critique of it. Like they're
Right.
not hearing that narrative in your head.
right, but also like if you have a song written and you know it's complete, right? Like you're like, oh, this song is done, and then there's a but maybe the verse can be better,
Yeah.
or maybe I can add a bridge, and I'm not saying that's not true, and I'm not saying sometimes your songs need that, but I guess like my whole spiel is basically if something is if you are holding yourself back of
Yeah.
like, oh, perfectionism, or oh, maybe this, maybe that, like put it out, because
Yeah.
even if it is bad or quote unquote bad, because it might not be bad. Some people might might not think it's bad, but it might touch somebody. I mean, going back to Eric's song "Cast My Cares," he's like, this song is bad in his mind.
Yeah.
But my cousin got a tattoo on her finger of "Cast My Cares" because that song in her depression meant so much to her.
Yeah.
So Eric is like, okay, I give up. I can't like, that was good for him to hear.
So he was not willing to publish it at all, and he needed that push of like, no, you think this isn't worth putting out there, but this is impacting people, and this is going to impact people, and you're kind of like, it's kind of not your song anymore at that point.
Sure, but also just like for anyone, I guess I know I'm kind of ranting on this, but to understand that like that art it can penetrate areas, people's whatever that you would never know or guess unless it's out there.
Yeah,
and so
you got to put out more.
Yeah, put out more if there's a prompting. Again, you don't want to just like be like, oh, here's a song, and then put it out and be like, I'm gonna change lives. I mean, maybe like a 3-year-old's life, but you know,
3-year-olds' lives matter. Hashtag. Gabby, how do you know when your song? Gabby, how do you now know when your song's done? When a song's done, or when a thing is done?
I don't.
To the best of your ability, like what's your feeling? Is it like just a certain level of excitement about putting it out?
I don't think I feel excited about putting things out.
Oh, you don't at all?
No, I just like it when I like I feel like I've really put in a lot of effort creatively.
Gotcha.
And it feels like a complete project.
Yeah.
When things feel complete. I don't.
So it's just a gut feeling like this feels complete.
Mm-hmm. Or I mean, I love collaborating.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
And
that's one of the big pillars of what Novum Records is a community of artists. So like, you know, Gabby can hit up Rita West or Eric or Stephen Jobert and like, or Matt Lewis or whoever the other guys that are on the in our
and
circle.
we have
we all you know, and what's cool is like we had a writing retreat a year ago and Rita and Gabby wrote a song that was on Rita's newest record from that retreat. And then Rita and Steven wrote a song on that retreat that's on Rita's new record. And then Matt Lewis led this cool songwriting circle to kind of, like John Foreman, flex the muscle of like once a week, here's a format or here's a prompt of like, use the word frame. Doesn't matter how. It just needs to be 2 minutes and it needs to be like, you know, a recording of an instrument in your voice, 2-minute minimum. It can be about anything, and that's helped all of us kind of get over that.
Those constraints can be really helpful.
Yeah, well, and also like you only have 6-7 days to write it, and if you don't write it and submit it, then you get kicked out of the group, which isn't the end of the world. But like it was good. It helped. I mean, gosh, I think it revolutionized a lot of us because. Especially for, you know, perfectionists like Eric, he's like, I only have 7 days. I can't make it perfect because I only have 7 days. And that guy would take 7 years, you know?
Yeah.
And like for me, it helped.
But it'd be the best song about frame.
Yeah, it'd be the best
frame song you've ever heard in your life.
Yeah.
I feel like you need areas of your life where you're practicing publishing. So like if you're a musician, you need some, and for John Foreman, it's internal, but at least for him, it might have been just putting it to paper and just like, I've done it complete.
Because songwriting is a muscle. I mean, like when I go back to like my, you know, freshman, sophomore year of college and I look at the trash that I created, I mean, it was art, whatever, but you know, and I would never show it to anybody unless we wanted to laugh. But like, not to say that anyone else's like, you know, GarageBand stuff is trash. You would all laugh at it.
But it was necessary. I mean, everyone's that way.
Exactly. I mean, think about like people who, you know, I remember being like a freshman in high school and starting to work out and being like, you know, when you do a bench press, you start with just the bar. It's 45 pounds and it's like, you know, and just accepting that like, okay, this is all I can do right now until I develop the proper muscles to then add more weight.
But I think we now looking back, we would kill to hear recordings of like the Beatles or some of these like hear their starting stuff.
Yeah. Well, what's cool is on Spotify the Beatles just released like work tapes and demos from like you can hear.
That's awesome.
You can hear a practice of like Let It Be or something. So you hear like the noise in the studio, like, all right, let's start and blah blah blah, and then I want to play drums in the band, John. Give me a song to sing, John.
That's pretty
I'll
good.
sing about octopus.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's about time for us to go to current events. Are you ready for this, Gabby?
Wait, before we do that, I have another plug.
Yeah, here we go.
I have another product.
Gabby, you're going to have to try to hit Allie's Whoa, what the heck is this?
PG Tips.
What?
What does it say? The original signature taste. This is actual.
What is in this box? I have no idea what this product is.
This is
Sam,
actual-
what do you think PG Tips is?
Yeah, this is a new segment.
It sounds something not PG.
A new segment of the show. What is
PG
this?
PG Tips. Wow.
What
So are we going to
PG
open this right now? What is this?
Actually, no,
Why
I'm
did you
gonna
bring
Some
this?
ASMR.
Do you know the founder of this, or why did you bring this?
Smell it.
Did you get this from the British Emporium?
No, but I just saw that today.
Why did you bring this? What is this?
This is
Explain.
This is 240 pyramid bags of British black tea.
Oh, okay. Thank gosh. Okay. Black tea. All right, cool.
This is from England.
Why did you bring this on the show?
But why not? I'm trying to keep you on your toes. Wait, before we do current events, I have another
Are we going
question.
to open that?
No, we're not. I'm
You
gonna
just
bring it
wanted to
home.
show us something you bought. What?
No.
Yeah, we're just going to throw black tea bags.
I need to keep this. This is from my future mother-in-law. She will drink all this in a day.
This is a segment called Things Will Bought at the Store.
No. So I actually imported it with me the last time I was in England. I just haven't opened it yet. The last time I was there was in May. So
But did you bring it in to open it on the show or what?
I mean, do you want to brew some tea? We can. Do you have a kettle?
No, I mean I do, but let's do it after the show.
Okay, we'll bust it
Okay.
open
we
for
have to do
afterward.
current
What?
events.
Whiskey and tea is amazing?
It is really
Okay.
good. Yeah. So
How
see,
about-
I brought the ingredients. Okay.
All right, how about our stagehands are going to go, they can go start helping. There's a
Stagehands.
kettle on the stove if you want to get it started, Sarah. We're going to go to current events though.
Okay.
Was that it?
Oh yeah. I just.
That was
goofing off,
hilarious.
I'm
That
just
was
trying
hilarious.
to keep. Wait, I have one more question.
Okay, go for it.
What do we call your audience members? Are they Edmondites? Are they?
I don't
the
know.
Showmen?
I've thought about this. You know, people have like really cutesy names for the audience,
The
but I don't
showmen.
know.
The show.
I mean,
the show.
At one
people.
point on Patreon, it was like,
Showheads.
be part of the cast. You know, but that was kind of like.
I like Edmondites.
Sarah's like, bleh.
Can we call them? Can y'all be Edmondites?
That sounds weird.
Little E men and women.
Anyways, that's all my product plugs for today.
That was awesome.
I do have
NovumRecords.com. Novum.com.
Are you going to pull more stuff out of your.
I mean,
Thirdlist.com.
this
What is this?
This is
Package.
priority mail. This is a great. You can click and ship.
You
click
brought-
and print.
We're gonna have to censor the address. What are you showing us? What
This is for a speeding ticket. I got to send in
Oh
my
my gosh,
paperwork.
you're literally pulling stuff out of your bag. All right, we gotta cut. Okay, Gabby, Allie is not here.
Yes.
Okay, but we're gonna have to try to. Now you know how this segment goes, right?
Maybe.
This is Allie Hoffman with the news or with current events.
Oh.
But you're gonna do hi. I'm
Blah blah blah.
say name.
Yes.
This is the news, right?
Okay.
Right,
And then,
producers?
And then do I
Producers?
say the title of the news?
No. This is just to introduce this segment. Okay, ready?
Okay. Hi, this is Gabby Banson.
Okay, you gotta like act like you gotta act like you care a little bit. Okay.
Okay.
Project.
Okay. Use my
Give
diaphragm.
her some like some vocal
Mommy
coaching.
made me mashed by M&M's.
Yum yum. What's
Yum, oh my.
Okay, here we go. Ready?
Hi, this is Gabby Banson.
Okay,
with-
could you do
Yeah, let me try.
Okay, can you
What am
say
I
Gabby
supposed to
Banson?
Yeah, I will.
Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
Quiet, Sarah. Shh.
Hello, this is Gabby Banson.
No, that made me feel really uncomfortable. That made me feel really uncomfortable.
Y'all, my cousin.
Sarah, if you were dating a guy that sounded like that, like he shows up blind date, he shows up, he's like, huh, do it again.
Hello, Sarah. Welcome to our date.
Tell me about yourself, Sarah.
Sam's very uncomfortable.
Okay, Gabby, let's do this. We're running out of time. Can you hit this right? Like, you're a professional.
I'm just saying, I was doing
You
it.
give people musical
I
therapy.
was music therapy. And I
Wait,
was
could you
doing it.
could you do this segment as a musical therapist? Maybe.
music?
Can you do this segment as a music therapist?
like
You know,
like sing?
no, just do it as a music therapist. All right, here we go.
I
Ready?
am a music therapist.
Here we go. Ready?
So the
Here we go.
answer is
Ready? Ready? Here we go. Here we go.
Hi, this is Gabby.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it.
Gabby, come on.
Corey doesn't have that much time. Corey cannot.
Corey.
Corey, when she's editing this video.
Oh, that's true. That's
Come
true.
on.
Okay.
Let's just start.
All right.
This is Gabby Banson with the news.
No, you just ruined it. We have to do it now. Okay, wait for the music, right, Sarah? Okay. Shh.
Hi, this is Gabby Banson with the news.
All right, cool. Here's our first news segment here. First news segment we have the application would
display.
not open. What the
Can't
heck?
display.
Okay.
Cannot display.
Someone sent this. The live audience said, "Oh gosh, news quit unexpectedly. We're having failures here."
Fake news.
I'm also
Broken
gonna do
news.
this. We're gonna do. Okay,
Gabby Banzo with the fake
so new screen recording. Not the fake news. It's the real news. Okay.
Or the broken news.
U.S. Oh wow, taking it serious here. The U.S. to resume capital punishment for federal inmates on death row. This brought in by the lighthearted audience. Off to the side.
Oh gosh.
When did they stop?
Let's get your thoughts here, Gabby, and Will.
Since 2001 or 2003.
The federal government has not executed anyone since 2003, but the attorney general announced that 5 inmates will be put to death starting in December. This is awful.
That's
this
sad.
is bad.
Yeah,
This
why
is
are we
not good.
doing this? That's
know.
it's tragic.
I don't like death at all.
So how does this work though? The federal government will resume this, but haven't states had the right to? Come on, Sarah, give us your.
So, like, the states are all like getting rid of capital punishment. So now the federal
Now the
government is
federal-
getting involved.
Oh, okay. So the states have been making capital punishment illegal and other thing, and now the federal government is getting involved. This is sad.
Oh, the Oklahoma City bomber. Wow.
After a nearly 2-decade hiatus, Attorney General William Barr said Thursday, countering a broad national shift away from the death penalty. Interesting. I don't.
So heavy. What?
I mean, I don't like
Why
this
is
at all.
this?
I
Yeah.
don't think. I mean, I'm kind of, just to be honest, I'm kind of on the train of like I don't think in 2019. This is my uninformed opinion, but I don't think in 2019 we have to be using the death penalty.
No, and I mean, it's like fact that like it's more expensive to
Yeah.
put someone to death. Also, like you never know if evidence comes up that
That they're-
exonerates
Yeah.
them, and then
Yeah.
of course, like
Now, Gabby, you're trapped on an island with Ted Bundy. Now he's not a convicted serial killer. You just
But he gives me the heebie-jeebies.
yeah, you know who he is.
Yes.
What do you do? Do you strangle him in his sleep, or do you just try to like
I will hide.
give him the old Christian love kind of good neighbor situation?
No, because if I give him the good, I'm just gonna pretend that like I just don't associate. I don't interact with him.
Yeah, but
at all.
you and him are stranded like Castaway situation. It's you and Ted Bundy.
Then I hide in a cave that he doesn't know.
No, but he's like. But
I just avoid people.
But he's
I
just
will
acting.
avoid.
He's just acting friendly. He's just like, what do you mean?
Yeah,
It's
but when
just-
he
it's
acts
old Teddy.
friendly, he's
It's
going
your friend
to kill
Teddy.
me. I don't.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
I don't.
Okay, you're on an airplane, and
This
they're
is so stressful.
they're shipping an inmate who's like a high profile serial killer or whatever. Airplane goes down. You and this high profile criminal are stranded on this island. Is capital punishment in their sleep?
no.
Is
I don't have it in me to kill a person.
What's the next
really?
news
That's
article?
surprising. I find that shocking. I find that really shocking.
Next article.
Regardless if it's, I don't. No one. No, that's
Our
not
next. Okay, college student discovers 65 million
This
year
is
old.
better. I like this better.
Yeah, me too.
I
Did
like
he
this
make
better.
money off of
Jurassic
that? That's
Park.
all I care about.
Did
College-
he get the DNA?
College student discovers 65 million year old Triceratops skull. Dang, this is wild.
Where?
Those are not pictures of the skull. I want to see a picture of the
That's
skull.
so
Is this?
cute.
That's a
Oh,
Triceratops.
this is it.
Oh,
Okay, as a child, Hanson Durant. Harrison.
Duran.
He found a 65
like
partial
a
skull
wolf.
of a Triceratops. Are you guys into dinosaurs?
Give your cookies
Yeah.
because no one else is
No?
eating it.
Tastes like a cinnamon roll. I don't know why. Enjoy.
That's pretty wild, man. Those
Yeah.
Triceratopses are huge.
Where did they find?
Yeah, where did they find this?
she's
Does anyone
asking
know?
you, bruh.
Wait.
It says it in the
University of
caption.
California. No.
It doesn't say where they found it. Probably in my backyard. Interesting.
Do Jurassic Park in your backyard?
This one is just so so shocking that we have no words for it.
It does taste like.
Man, dinosaur skulls are way bigger than you think they would be. You know, like you think dinosaur fossils and bones are big, but then I was watching a Netflix documentary the other day about dinosaurs. Don't judge me. And they're way bigger than you think they
Yeah.
would be. And you're like, oh, they're big, but it's way bigger. All right, any thoughts on that, Gabby? Nothing. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did you know? You know how they have the Pokemon game Not Pokemon.
I do know that
Pokemon
they have the Pokemon game. I do know.
They have the Harry Potter game, but they also have a Jurassic Park game.
Where you can discover dinosaurs.
And then you can like get their DNA and make a dinosaur.
Wow, make a dinosaur. Here's news: Chance the Rapper's Postmates bill. Chance the Rapper's Postmates bill will make you feel better about your spending. So where's the
Spent more than 30 grand on
And we back,
Postmates.
and we back.
Chance has spent more than 30 grand on Postmates since signing up in 2014, according to the company's website. Do you guys ever use like Uber Eats or like any of those services?
Is that what Postmates is?
Yeah, right. Postmates is one of those ones you can order from like any restaurant or store or grocery store even, right? And they'll just deliver it.
I've used it twice.
You've used it twice?
One of my housemates is working Postmates.
Yeah.
You just pay a guy.
It's just kind of expensive.
It's like Uber Eats, but for any store, right?
But I hear for the restaurants, it kind of sucks because like they
Yeah.
have to put the order in before serving the people that are actually there.
Oh, dang.
So because the Uber driver is gonna be on their way, and so you have to like make the food
Yeah.
that was ordered on this app before you make the food of the people that are actually sitting in your restaurant.
Yeah. Will, you seem like the type of guy that's kind of a, like a careful shopper. Like you go into a grocery store and you're kind of there for a while.
No.
No? Are you in and out?
That's Eric Wilkes.
That's Eric Wilkes. Yeah,
Oh,
you're
okay.
confusing me with my BFF. No, I'm very much like I eat the same thing. I walk in there with a purpose and I'm gone.
Yeah.
Like, however long.
Have you ever used Uber Eats?
No.
Never?
No.
Have you, Gabby?
Twice.
Or like DoorDash or any of
my
those
life.
things?
No.
Wait, twice? That's it?
Yeah.
Wow. Maybe this is like a once you have kids thing.
Yeah, I was about to say
No, that
it's
makes
probably more
sense.
convenient
It's like,
for you.
we really want Chick-fil-A. I wish we could have Chick-fil-A. I hate that we have kids. I mean, I love that we have kids, but I don't want
Right.
kids. I don't want the responsibilities of kids right now.
Yeah.
And then this is the worst part about it. Have you, like, what if you could sit in your living room, keep watching Stranger Things, but get sushi, Chick-fil-A, and pizza?
Did you do that?
Yes.
I want to live your life. I want all three
Right?
of those things.
Like that, you just feel next level. Like you feel
Well, another
like a
thing, there's
millionaire.
It's also a cost thing because there's an extra cost
Oh
to
yeah,
pay
definitely.
for the Uber driver.
Yeah, I'm not saying we do it all the time, but
Yeah.
sometimes, especially when it's like midnight and you've had a few drinks, and then you're just hungry. You're just like, what if we could get a burger, a pizza, and sushi,
Right at
and
right
let's just
there.
do it?
I could
Instant
go for all that
gratification.
right now.
Yeah. Anyways,
That's funny.
all right. Here's our next news article. I think this right here.
Woman demands.
Yeah, Gabby, why don't you read it?
Woman demands this dog's name be changed because that's how she wants to call her newborn. Goes ballistic after owner refuses.
Wait, I don't
what?
understand. Wait,
So someone else's dog?
what is going on here? Wait. Woman demands a dog's name be changed because she wants to call her newborn.
Was she
Is it
buying
like a
this
neighbor?
dog? Was she trying to name a dog that she's buying from somebody?
Oh wait.
Oh, did she say this to like a neighbor? She says, "We want to name her Tilly, but it's come to my attention you have a dog named Tilly. I'd really appreciate you changing your dog's name." How do they know these? How do they know each other? She says, "Because I
Since
don't
we
have
really-
kids and don't understand, I'm putting her in a terrible position." What? Oh my gosh. A woman named Jenny went on Facebook to ask advice on how to deal with a horrible situation. Is it her neighbor or something?
That's just sad. No,
It's
it must be some
crazy.
random woman saying like, "Oh, your dog's named Tilly. Well, my future baby is going to be named that." So they can't
Wow.
have the same name for some reason.
Holy cow.
That reminds me, that's what I'm doing on Monday. I'm calling all the Wills in the world and saying, "Can you change your name because
My name is Will."
Yeah,
Do you guys want to have kids at one point in your life?
of course.
Yes.
Do you think you would tell people the name that you want to name the baby, or would you not? Some people, there's like divided, the world is divided in two people, two types of people. Those who will say the name they're going to name their child before it's born, and those who will wait until it's born.
I think me and Rebecca will keep it to ourselves.
Okay. Will you do one of those gender reveal things?
I don't know. We haven't gotten that far. We're trying to
Yeah.
get married first. We're trying to get visas.
Yeah.
so-
Well, these are things you need to cover up front because maybe that's a deal breaker, right?
No.
If she's like super into gender reveals and you're like,
I doubt
no.
it. Have you met her? You haven't met her yet, have you?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, no. She wouldn't care.
She wouldn't.
Gabby, would you marry a guy that's not willing to do a gender reveal party?
I don't even know if I want a gender reveal party.
Yeah. I don't
I
really
think
care
I just
about that.
want to know. I don't think I need to, display it to the
This
world.
is crazy. I can't believe this woman is asking other another person to change their dog's name because they want to name their child that.
Yeah,
Like, that's so weird.
That's outrageous.
That's ridiculous. Anyways, I guess that's all we have on
Tilly.
that.
Sorry, Tilly.
All right, let's do one more news piece here.
Isn't Tilly like a store?
What is this? The internet,
What?
a recent viral. What? Why are you
Raw
laughing?
chicken seemingly crawls off table.
By itself and terrifying.
Can we
footage.
watch this footage?
Okay, let's watch this.
Oh my god.
What?
No,
That's got to be
that's
fake.
not real.
Yeah, that's gotta be fake. That looks like a stop motion thing.
Now
Ew.
wait.
Ew.
Now, okay, wait. Now, I have seen clips. This I'm not going to judge, but those are chopsticks. And I have seen clips where like at sushi places, they'll kill a fish really freshly or an
Yeah.
octopus or something and it will still kind of be
Yeah,
moving.
yeah.
Is this one of those situations?
I don't think
I can't even
so.
tell that looks like a chicken. It doesn't even
Can you enlarge the text on that?
while the video is
Yeah.
clearly where? Oh yeah. Oh, nice.
Oh gosh, that's
Okay.
better. Claim that he beheaded a
No,
chicken.
this is that's other stories.
Well, the
but-
video is clearly disconcerting. It's possible that the meat was so fresh at this restaurant that the nerve endings of the animal had not died yet.
Ugh. That is crazy, man. Would you eat that? That just looks like raw chicken, though. Who's eating raw chicken? Who's
It's just crazy because it looks like it was like gripping for the edge of the table, like get me out.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, man. That
That's
piece
so
of meat.
funny.
It's possessed.
That piece of meat's like, I'm not going down like this, bro.
I cannot.
Oh.
It looks
That's
even
It
terrible.
doesn't. It
closer
doesn't.
up.
It doesn't look like any type of animal I've ever seen. Like that doesn't look like a chicken. That doesn't look
Maybe
like
it's
chicken
a
meat.
piece of the flare.
That doesn't look like chicken meat. It looks like
Stranger Things.
It looks more like a rabbit.
I don't know. I would say that's stop motion fakeness, you know?
No.
Because look how the cameras move. It's very blocky.
It's Stranger Things.
That looks. I don't know, man.
No, look at how the movement is. It looks very blocky. Like it doesn't look like a smooth
Dude, my
video.
hands would not be steady if I was filming that.
No,
if that
stop
was
motion
really
is
happening.
pictures.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
I'm saying they like. Do you?
Yeah,
like
yeah, I
the
get what you're
live
saying.
thing.
I don't know, man. That's
I'm just telling
Weird.
you.
I don't know. I
It's
don't
going
know.
to the upside
now.
down.
Would you finish the rest of your meal after that happened?
Yeah, I'd be like, whatever. That's
Really?
wild. Yeah.
Uh-uh.
You cook it. You cook it.
Nope.
Dang.
No, I'm leaving
Well, I
the
wouldn't. The
restaurant.
one that fell on the floor, I wouldn't eat, but I'd eat the rest
Yeah.
No,
of
I'm
it.
leaving the restaurant.
Dang.
They look. They took a.
What?
They took a screen. A
They used to
video.
get a screen recording of a video, I guess.
Yeah. Why wouldn't they just take a video? I don't know.
know,
See,
weird.
that doesn't. I don't know.
This isn't passing Will's like Snopes test here.
It went to
It's
the
the internet, y'all. Come on.
It's the upside down.
We have a little bit of time left. Will,
Yeah.
we wanted to bring up something we found just to get
Oh,
you to
God.
like explain.
Oh no. Oh my god. Oh god.
Will, can you explain
Oh no. You.
this photo?
Look
How
at that
you
hat,
dirty
the
dog.
sideways hat.
So, Will, can you give us? You told us
Is
so
that
much
a
about
puka
your
shell
life.
necklace? What is
No,
this?
that's this cross I'm wearing.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's the same cross.
Dude, this looks like you're. Yeah, this doesn't look good, man.
Why not? What
I don't
doesn't
know.
look
This looks
good?
super creepy, man.
You just like.
Do these girls know that you photobombed this?
I was in the picture. I mean, Jennifer
Why aren't you
smiling.
smiling?
So you know these women.
Oh yeah, this is our tennis team.
Oh, okay. This looked like you walked in on some
I mean,
birthday party.
Lauren Wu's not even looking at the camera.
Yeah.
Radhika's got Radhika and Jennifer look good. I mean, dude, I was a cheese, man. If you look at all my old photos, I still am kind of
Yeah.
goofy, but
What was going on in
In your head.
10/21/2005 here?
we were
You guys look like you're at a nail salon.
that T-shirt I'm wearing, everything something, and you can see the left side of Texas, the red. That's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
we were at we were in Arizona at a national tennis tournament.
Wow.
We had won in our league, so it was like a country club league,
Mm-hmm.
and we had won the state of Texas. Like we were the best in
Yeah.
Texas for our division, and so we were in Arizona. So I must have been just cheesing on something, or
Dang.
acting like a fool.
Wow.
I mean that's normal.
This is art.
I mean,
This is art.
sure. Do you have any other embarrassing photos?
No, I
there,
only
there
got-
are probably
Publishing it.
way
We're
better
publishing
ones.
I only got one.
I tried scrubbing the internet a few years ago to get rid of a bunch of stuff.
That was it. I just wanted to try to bring up something.
I have no
the
shame, man.
past.
Yeah, no,
We're going to go through some other things, but I think we're running out of time here.
What
So
else?
anything else,
Speed
Gabby?
round. Speed round.
Speed round. Oh, let's see if we got questions. Does anyone have any questions? Sam, Gabby, anything you want to talk about?
I know Will already, so
But the listeners
the
don't.
listeners don't.
Let's see.
I will say I do like producing things. Oh, sorry, I'm going back.
No, go for it.
But I don't. I mean, it's like I mean, I like creating things as equal to producing things.
Yeah. Which do you like more?
I just said it was equal.
I'm listening.
Why are we on Zambone? Did you get me and him mixed up? People get us mixed up because we're both bald and have beards.
We were gonna have you audit people's Instagram accounts.
Oh.
But I think we're
Yeah,
running
I
out
like
of time
scroll
here.
through.
I can do it quick. I mean, Joe's looks good. The first like 6.5 I can see.
Yeah. You like Joe's? Oh, look, he's got this kind
Oh
of.
wow,
no.
the grid.
He's got the grid going
The
with the full
grid,
image there. But see,
Yeah.
these should be over here.
Yeah, but he just needs to post one more thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll be fine.
What advice would you give Joe on his Instagram account here? He's got 2,000 followers, 197, so he unfollowed a bunch of people.
Wow.
His looks good, man. I don't know. I don't have any advice. I'm not really. I mean, dude, you know me. I barely like. I just finally posted on Novum Records' Instagram.
Yeah,
so.
but let's just, what is this?
Spotify.
Something he's plugging Spotify.
Play
Help
Okay.
algorithms and go to Interesting.
Pre-saved.
Just
Okay.
for his music.
We just had random artists that we pulled up that we wanted to get Will's reaction. Connor Flanagan.
Oh, Connor, nice.
iFlow Acoustic. What do you think about his channel here? I like this kind
Looks
of
good.
stories
Yeah, I
thing.
like the highlights.
Like the stories thing.
Yeah, he's
colors
got
are
some good. He's got some good content. I don't, dude. I mean, I'm the worst person to ask. His looks fine. I mean, I'm easy to please. I mean, look at mine. Mine's not congruent at all. Mine's.
I think he could
Yeah.
probably. I think maybe to. So this is him in shorts on stage. I think he should consider wearing shorter shorts.
Oh yeah, like
That's in now,
some
right?
jorts. Yeah, like
Aren't those jorts that he's wearing?
Yeah, yeah.
I think
I
if
think
Connor could get those shorts a little higher up, I think he'd be more relevant to the younger demographic,
True.
right?
Yeah, sure.
What else we got here?
You got
Some
the sky,
selfies,
you
nice.
got
Some selfies
Some nature,
here.
yeah.
I mean,
Good
this
looking
is
dude.
yeah, that's a little
some
obnoxious.
nature. He's got some coffee.
Okay, he looks too tiny.
I hope he
there.
listens to this.
He looks too tiny.
He looks good to me.
Too much.
He's got.
Too much. Who else were we gonna look up?
I don't know.
What were the other names we had here that we wanted Will's reaction to?
Josh Garrels.
I mean, Will's just gonna say nice things.
Yeah.
Because Josh
He's easy to please.
Because Josh listens to the podcast. Okay,
Ooh.
all right. Spiritual songs.
Did he release something recently?
I don't like that
He
good.
could have gotten a little. We could have gotten a little more creative with this.
I don't like his grid.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a grid.
He also seems a little bit like a slacker.
I guess.
He doesn't seem like he works that hard.
Oh yeah, you know him and his 61,000 followers.
Is that him and his dad? No, that's him in the Face app.
Yeah.
That's great.
Have you guys seen the Face app stuff? That's,
Oh, I went crazy on that.
Oh, so did I. Did you do it, Will?
No, I don't like to do the trendy stuff.
Will, would you have dinner with this man? This is me over the Face
He seems
app.
like a wise
Dude, you look
man
like,
who's produced a lot of things.
Oh my gosh, who
and
do
is
you look
very
like?
creative.
He looks super angry. I look like you would not. Yeah,
Get off my
A little bit
lawn.
of Clint Eastwood, a little bit of
just angry.
Get off of my podcast.
the guy from the station head of Anchorman. You know, Ed Harkin.
Okay. Okay.
You stay classy.
I love that movie.
Man,
Anyways,
Loud noises.
God bless my wife because she, this is, honey, this is it. This is what
That's it.
this is what the future looks like.
that's funny.
Well, Will, any last? We've plugged a lot on the show. Any
Novum.
last minute things that you want to plug here?
Novum.
Any last minute? Any things you want to say to the audience? Any things you want them to do?
Yeah, I mean, if you're listening, I would say to like it's so cliche, but
Do it, man.
life is just so short, and the thing that I've been thriving, I guess,
Trying to do more.
trying to do more,
Striving.
striving, but no, but in order to I would healthily and humbly say that I feel like I'm thriving, and that's just because you take risks and you recognize that you're gonna fail, and you don't let that stifle you, because you gotta mess up 100 times before you succeed once. And,
Yeah.
if you're an artist, keep doing it, and don't really worry about what other people are thinking. And I think that's kind of what I was trying to get at earlier, is just putting something out there that you want, like if you want it to be ready because you're like, oh well, you know, if it sounds more like this, then it'll be ready. It's like no. If you know it's ready,
It's ready.
then it's
It's
ready.
ready.
You know, and if someone, because like, look,
Sarah, do you know if it's ready?
My book?
I don't know.
yeah, your book.
Sure. Is it ready?
Almost. Well, that's okay. You're allowed to say that.
You're allowed to say that, Sarah.
But I'm just saying, like, you know, if you have something you want to go for, like, you really have to go for it because, you know, I know we're at the end of it, but, you know, I was working Big Four accounting and doing all that stuff and felt the Lord calling me out of that and, you know, basically took like a tenth of my pay that I was making and fully trusted in Him. And He's blessed me tremendously through that. And I've felt more alive and I didn't fail and I didn't like have to like go into massive amounts of debt trying to become a musician full time versus like making tons of money a year, you know? And like truly, you know, God is a good security if you're a believer and you want to put your trust in Him.
So you're encouraging people to kind of jump.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
the jump.
Please. Yeah.
Make the jump.
It's the best thing I ever did in my life. It led me to meeting Rebecca, who I'm marrying in January,
Yeah.
and
And to think about the people whose art or music or whatever might really impact and change.
sure. And yeah. And I mean, there's just a nice ripple effect because me taking that leap and doing it has helped other people, you know, achieve their dreams. And again, not because I'm anything special, but because like when we're fully ourselves, we help other people become fully themselves. And it just, you know, it's a ripple effect. So
Will Hickl, everybody. Thanks a lot, guys. Will, thanks for being on the show.
Yay,
Thanks for bringing all the products.
yeah.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, live audience, for the news articles. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Edmund.
Will Hickl and Novum Records, everybody.
NovumRecords.com.
Pew pew pew.
Publish your crap now.